God.
Hello, everybody. We are back after what
Oh,
feels like
whoa.
forever.
Wow.
But yeah, we're back at it again. Let me just put in Viper's captions because they are very important.
Yes, exactly.
But yeah, hello everybody. Welcome back to Revenge of the Crit, where we're just going back. We're just gonna keep continuing with some Coruscant RP shenanigans and figure out where anything goes from here.
We're finishing the cliffhanger, damn it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We're trying to.
Yeah, bit of a long cliffhanger. Sorry. But we're gonna rectify that one and maybe end on with another. Well, who knows? But yeah, this is the 50th motherfucking episode. Which shit.
We did it? Episode 50?
Wait, hold on, I have something for us that,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The fucking Happy Wheels alarm. I love it.
Beautiful
You
shit.
really do love to see it. I'm so proud of this community.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is certainly a milestone. It is glad that we've made it this far. Love these people and the story we've been able to tell together. It's been all around good times. But
really quick, before you do anything, can you turn the rolls on the stream invisible so we can move past it?
Wait, can't you delete your own?
Can I?
Can you?
I cannot.
I mean, you could.
just spam the roll 20. Just spam
What?
it. Just spam the rolls.
But it's gonna go past the people will see.
It's fine. Here, hold on. I got it.
Okay. Wait. Okay, we're good. Now scroll all the way down.
No one saw it.
We're good.
No one
Scroll
saw
all the way
it.
down.
Oh, I know what I'm
All the way
seeing
down.
though.
Oh,
okay.
Oh god.
We're good.
There was a brief
There was a
brief-
There we go. We're good.
there was a brief 69 for a moment though.
Nice.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
With all that out of the way.
Also, I'm not sure if my captions are showing.
They're not.
They're not.
They're not.
Oh wait.
Fuck, I don't know how to
Wait.
fix it.
me-
I really don't know how
Are
to
mine
fix it.
showing? I don't think mine are showing. Hold on.
No, yours are showing.
Well, you-
It's fine.
Oh, are they?
Well,
Okay, cool.
Well, you figured
No,
that out.
Yeah, yours
So-
are showing. Mine's
they're
not showing.
They're not showing for me.
Yeah, I would
They
say.
were
I-
actually.
I'm not seeing it on stream.
Wait, am I?
Oh
There's the
wait,
delay,
no,
too.
they're showing.
Mine is the only one that's not showing.
Yeah,
I have no idea why.
Yeah, try. Yeah, just
Yeah,
killing
just
the
Tati.
website and just like reset the whole thing and we'll just-
Reload the page.
all that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully that'll do it. But yeah, quickly we'll just go around table since it's gonna be an evening. But yeah, just going around doing quick introductions. I'm Kevin, your DM for today and the past sessions and probably the future ones. God willing.
Probably.
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 But yeah, we're
Most likely.
yeah.
Maybe.
But yeah, we're just continuing on with this story here and looking forward to tying up some loose ends this evening and hopefully starting up some old plot lines and finishing up some new ones. Well, I said that backwards. Next in line, we have Chris.
Hello. I'm trying to be more transparent about this. It's Christian, not Chris. And I mean that with the most kindness. Just go with Kappa if you're just not sure. I play Soren. Space Vegas is Coruscant, right? Okay, that's it. That's all.
Star Wars New Vegas.
All right, and we'll just wait till Tati gets the captions situated. But first up, we have after that we have Jinkles.
Hello there.
Hi.
God,
Why?
I know. I expected that to happen to you. I expected you to use that, but it still tickles me.
It's so fun. Anyway, hi, I'm Jinkles. You can find me at Love Jinkles on Twitter. Yeah, please refer to me as either Jinkles or Kirsten. I voice act and I play the lovely Shir'iven, and I've missed this fucking campaign. Ah!
Yeah, I missed it too. And after we'll test it, hopefully it works. We have Tati.
And Tati here. I missed this campaign as well. I play the badass boy that has lightning coming out of his fingers, Raziel, who's
Cole,
has
Cole McGrath from
conspiracy
Star
theories
Wars?
on Sidious Pepe Sylvia style. Let's go.
Nice.
Let's
nice.
go.
All right.
Seems like captions still aren't working.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I'ma have to just make a new browser source because Slobs is being a bitch. But
Wow.
Sorry. I
George
mean,
said use OBS.
George,
yeah.
if there's
Point at the
anything
camera
else
like
I
you
can
see me.
if there's anything else I can do to help with that, I don't know too much about how to use web captioners other than what you've told me. So
It's all good.
George Lucas and Bob Iger really just said no speaking rights for Tati. Unbelievable.
All right.
how dare they? I'm one of the main characters.
And last but certainly not least, we have the Viper.
That's me. Pokemon? Hello?
Chase. Fuck.
What?
It's been
Can
a
three
few
Pokemon.
weeks.
I'd be yo, Pokemon campaign? I know that's possible.
God,
Anyway.
please, dude, I'm already trying to get together an Avatar campaign.
Anyway, hello, everybody. My name is Chase. Chase the VA, Chase Beck. You know how it goes. I play RCO947 or Viper, if you nasty. Yeah, it's been a hot minute, and I've missed this whole campaign, warts and all, and I'm ready to just get back into my armor and just like figure out stuff that doesn't involve me smashing my new iPod Pod 12.
All right. Yeah.
Also small note, today is a national holiday because it's Godzilla's 67th birthday, so hell yes.
2 more years! Two
More years! 2 more years! I literally said that in a call, 2 more years!
Oh my
Oh my god.
Also, stream chat. I can't believe Shiri is going to be voiced by
Voiced by
Chris
Chris
Pratt.
Man, it was only a matter of time. And,
Hey, it's a me. I'm Shiri.
Then.
Hey, it's a me. I'm Shiri. I love the pasta, but I hate Mondays.
oh
I'm gonna
my God.
choke up my fucking spit. Don't do that.
Okay. All right. Also, I think I got the captions figured out for you, Tati. You should be fire now, but
Okay, awesome. Testing the
It's working.
Showing?
Okay.
yeah, you're good.
They are. It works. You have life.
Yes!
All
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen,
Success!
it works.
Got it.
Oh, I've missed you guys so much.
I miss you.
Oh, all right. Well, with all that out of the way, we will get into our long overdue recap, and let's get the intro rolling. So let me just make sure I have the music up, and
Oh, now I hear. Viper's log. Things have tensed up lately since our return to Coruscant. After General Shir'iven's meeting with the Council, things have taken a turn for the slightly worryable. The Council has been wanting to learn more about the cloning process and will be possibly making a visit to Camino, with hints of distrust being seeded around us. I don't know what they have planned, but whatever it is, it can't be good. Even more so, Raziel has spoken to all of us about the visions of a possibly dark future, one where Shir'iven and Soren serve under a Dark Lord by the name of Darth Sidious, and one involving me slaying D-Kick and hunting down the rest of the Jedi. It frightens me, truthfully. I don't know what the future has in store for me and the others, but I know one thing's for certain. I will do my best to not let this happen. Viper out.
indeed. So, friends, foes, and undecided. We continue from where we left off in the humble, quiet for a moment, but suddenly a little tense quarters of Jedi Master Shir'iven. You are all gathered discussing the recent meaning that Viper had discussion that Viper had with Jedi Master Peel, and as in the last we left off, Raziel, you slammed one of the bits of furniture pretty hard, I would say. Not enough to cause like significant physical damage, but it was loud. And in that moment, you guys all hear from outside, and you hear from a familiar voice, your Padawan, Shir'iven. Master? Is everything alright in there?
Oh, so you're saying it's my fault? Damn it!
So, what would you all like to do?
Raz just stops in his tracks. His eyes go wide as he looks to the rest of the team. T-Gig?
Master?
One moment, D-Gag. Shir'iven's going to kind of straighten like everything out in the room.
Okay.
If anything's out of place, and before she kind of like looks to the team as she walks to the door.
Should
Kind of
I
like
move?
no, you're fine. Just we'll be fine.
Okay.
We good?
Ooh. Yes. Thumbs up.
Is everyone else good? Is Viper and Raz good?
Viper gives a singular thumbs up, just like, yep.
Yeah, Rez. He looks thrown off, but he nods like you're good.
And with that, Shir'iven answers the door.
Opens up and Diga kind of sheepishly walks in. Master, is everything alright? Dooku sent me over after our little practice and wanted me to check in on you, and I heard a bang and was just suddenly concerned.
I completely forgot. What was the bang again?
Raz slamming the
Raz
furniture.
slamming his fist on the door. I mean on the desk.
Not the door, but it was like in your kitchen.
Yeah.
He slammed his fist in there.
There's a crater in your granite.
Jeez, I just got that redone.
I've been here.
Damn it! I have to go back to Space IKEA.
The first time I'm here
sorry.
for 10 years, I remodeled this place, and now you go and damage my shit. Who's gonna pay for this?
Who's gonna give me a loan, jackhole? You?
But yeah.
Do you have any idea how bad this is gonna look on my credit?
God.
God.
Look, that's too real, please.
No, but everything's fine, D-Gag. We just had some furniture fall. That was it.
Make a deception check. I'm gonna need. Yeah. From you,
As she's trying to suss out whether or not that is believable, I'm going to just. You said Dooku sent you.
I had natural 20.
Shit.
All right. Well, I do need to. I do at least need a roll against that. Let me just.
Oh, that's a big number.
I mean, like.
Yeah.
Let me just at least see if there is a chance she can touch that number. It's around here. Where are the? There they are. Past the important masters. There she is. Yeah, we can make her. I mean, let's at least see. She has these checks at advantage. Nope. She like nope. She sort of like you see her head tentacles twitch ever so slightly, and like she like nudges her head like and looks like, you know, around the space and goes, right. Well, that's good. Oh, and for Soren, yes, Dooku did send me
What for?
Well, we occasionally do some light sparring, he and I. He is, whenever I know, I know Shir'iven to be busy, and I will occasionally hit up other masters throughout the temple if they would indulge me in at least some combat, and he said he was worried about you, Master, and he just wanted to make sure you were all right.
Why was he... did he give any reason to that?
It was something about... He didn't indulge too much, but something about what you said in the council chambers, or... I believe the way he put it was you rifling feathers, or something to that effect.
Insight check.
Inside?
Yeah, is she just following orders? Is that exactly what she said, or is she trying to hide something?
Yeah, go ahead, insight check.
All right. Boom.
Yeah, you can read her real easy. She is seemingly being truthful. Like,
Okay, cool.
She's not...
Cool.
Yeah, doesn't seem like she's hiding anything. Like, this is generally what she's here for.
Got it. There's no secret mission.
It's... I don't even... Dude, it's been so long, I completely forgot what I even said during the council meeting.
Yeah, during the council meeting, Shiri and Raz basically told the council members about Raz's visions during his ritual in Dathomir.
Yes.
About you and Soren being inquisitors, about Viper shooting D-Gig, Sidious being prevalent.
Yeah,
in both of them.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Shiri kind of, like, looks to Raz at that point, like, you know, kind of asking him, like, do you think we should tell her?
He kind of grimaces for a moment, but he looks back to Shiri. He closes the distance and walks up to you.
Raz? Is something the matter?
And before he says anything to D-Gig, he just quietly whispers to Shiri, might be best to clear some things up.
Before, like, you know, the door's shut, like, D-Gig stepped in and the door's shut behind her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. D-Gig, why don't you come have a seat? I want to be I want to be truthful with you with what was said, and I know that you won't say anything.
Of course. And...
You deserve to know this. And she kind of, like, holds her hand out and offers the bed out to her for her to sit.
Yeah, she'll sort of make herself as comfortable as she can. She does still... Whatever sheepishness she had coming in, it's now sort of being amplified at the sort of awkward tension in the room.
Raz will move closer to, like, D-Gig. He won't, like, sit down, but he'll, like, sit next to, like, he'll stand next to Shiri and D-Gig.
Mm-hmm.
Just to kind of, I don't know, ease some tension.
Yeah, you see D-Gig kind of, like, twiddling her fingers very nervously, just like, if you can go ahead and spit it out already.
During our adventures, we had to bring Raz to the Night Sisters in order to basically rid himself of his connection to Darth Maul. And during that time, well, he had visions. Very concerning visions involving our team and even you. that Count Dooku believes that concerns me. Raziel saw a vision of myself and Soren in front of a Sith Lord named Sidious, becoming his first inquisitors of the Sith. Why you deserve to know, and why you were involved. And Shiri kind of trails off and like looks to Raz, knowing that it's not really her place to continue that part.
Yeah, and he nods. He kind of steps forward, looking pretty uncomfortable about it, but he knows that it's gotta be said. Right, so that's one vision we told the council about. There's another vision that involves you.
It's not meant to be funny. I just don't want it. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
You're good.
No, you're
But
good.
I've done it now.
You're good. There's one vision, another vision that involves you. It showed you on the outside of a Jedi temple. Approaching Viper.
She kind of looks to him, like, with like, Viper, like seeing this smile, like she's trying to like, you know, like look genuinely happy, but even you can like tell like she's like a bit stressed of like, what, Viper, what? And yeah, just you can see that plainly on her face.
And he just like turns away his head away just a bit, not out of just like distaste, but more of just sort of like, oh god, just like it, just like still hearing about that vision, and just like looking at that sweet child. It's just sort of like he's still in disbelief that no, he couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just a lot going on right now.
Yeah, the vision. You approached Viper and he struggles with the words, but there's no sugarcoating it. You were shut down.
She like lets out like this gasp almost of like unbelieving of what she's hearing, and then just looks to Viper and to you and be like,
Viper scoots away from Deekik just a teensy bit. He's he's very cautious now. It's starting to get to him just a little bit.
and you see D-Geg is sort of like her grip is tightening on the fabric of whatever piece of furniture she's sitting on. She's like, Viper? Killing me? No, that's not within him. Even in the short time I've known him, I don't see it. It's part of him.
And we know that and agree with you. In fact, that's what our concern was. We brought up to the council that this doesn't seem what the clones would do on their own terms. We brought up how we should look into the creators on Camino and what goes into them and everything involving it. It just... There's so much that goes into it, and we don't know the answers just yet.
And the fact that Sidious also made his presence known in that vision is what concerns me. Doesn't seem like it's a coincidence. And Sherry and Viper, they've never met Sidious before.
I see. Does anyone else outside of the council aware of what you've seen?
No,
Not that we
just
know
you.
of.
Just us.
Okay. She stands up. Your secret is safe with me.
She's going to hell.
D-Cake?
Just kind of looks to Viper. Then back to Shir'iven. I appreciate your honesty, Master. I'll be on my guard. And
Please do. There's... Concerning this, we also have the right to believe that not many people here can be trusted. Us, you can trust, but be aware of anyone else. Raz and I might have caught something that we weren't supposed to hear.
Well, if you're going to continue sharing secrets, you might as well share that.
Be careful with Count Dooku.
You know, it's really hard to do that considering it was both your master and he that looked after me when both you and Qui-Gon
No.
left.
I understand. I do, D-Cake, I do. And it pains me to tell you that because I know how you've grown with both my master and him in all the time that I've been gone. But I wouldn't be telling you this if I didn't have these concerns. Just be on your guard around him when it comes to certain things.
She closes her eyes. All right. I will heed your words over his. And I can't believe I have to share what I hear and treat him as if he's some type of threat after all this time.
Sherry wouldn't make this up. During our meeting with the council, when we were asked to keep our guard up around others, I sensed malice from Dooku. Now, I don't know him personally, but I can never mistake that feeling. Just trust me and be careful.
Make me persuasion check at advantage.
Can I assist him on that?
Yeah, that's the advantages from that assist.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Cool.
Advantage. Give me a good boost. Give me a good boost. Come on.
That's a
Hi.
boost. That's a
Yes.
good boost.
That's a good boost. Yes.
All right. She sort of looks to you, Raz, saying that, and goes, well, all right. I'll do what I can. And then she sort of rushes to Viper and puts, like, open palm to your throat and goes,
Oh!
you make one wrong move, and it's lights out for you, clone. Do you understand?
I know you're tense right now, D-Gig, and I understand that, but I wouldn't dream. I wouldn't dare do anything to hurt Shir'iven.
For a hot second, you feel a little, not enough to choke you, but just a little bit of, like, just tension around your throat, but her hand is just, like, inches away from it. Then she just sort of eases up.
And I don't know much about the Force or anything, or these visions. But I've always trusted, but I know Raziel wouldn't lie to me. And neither was Shir'iven. I would not do that to either of them.
And he leans in just a little bit, enough to whisper to her, so no one can hear.
And if it comes down to it, if these are to come true, then you have my permission to take my life.
And he leans back.
Damn. Fuck.
Damn. Now, why would you do that?
Palm still just outside of your throat. She sort of turns away, or turns her face away, and goes, fine. Pulls back. And she rushes out. Which one of you has the highest passive perception?
Let's see.
I have a feeling it's either Raz or Soren.
I have a
Yeah.
perception of passive of 9.
I have a passive of 11.
Passive perception of 14.
Yeah, I have 13.
Okay, yeah, Raz, you would definitely catch, like, just as she's walking out, quick little tears, like, coming down her face. As she just... door closes behind her.
I hope she does know, when the emotions have passed, that we did this for her protection.
Even so, I'm not sure I agree with the decision. Respect it, I understand. But I'm not sure I agree with it.
I don't want to lose her. She deserved to know.
The visions involve her too.
You were
She's
right to
right.
tell us so.
See, I agree
No,
with all of that. It's just this Dooku character. I didn't even know he's part of the Order, and he seems to be in very direct contact, and we don't trust him.
I know, but if she's that close to him, she has a right to know. Especially if there's no telling what he could do. He could turn
Exactly.
her against us.
Exactly. There's no telling what he can do. If
Why
he finds
not-
out
then
through
why
her
not-
that we know,
She wouldn't say anything.
does she need to?
She shouldn't have to say anything.
It's not DGEG I don't trust.
I know.
I'm going along with this decision. I understand why the points were made. I just don't know if it was the most tactical.
Emotions are high. At the same time, she needs to understand that
She needs to
Her-
understand
her-
that she has allies, that she's safe with us. Right?
exactly, and the people that who she thinks might be considered her allies aren't ones to be trusted. I mean, think of it like this: what if Dooku does turn on us immediately? What if make a fabib? I'm slaughtered right in front of her eyes. What then?
No,
Am I
you're
wrong
right.
for?
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. You're absolutely right. And it's just
It was the only way we could do it at the moment.
no. Yes, of course.
I'll check in on her later.
Please do. Anything she could really need someone like you by her side and comforting her through this.
Yeah. She's not taking the news well. Understandably so, but
Give her the night, maybe the morning, to relax, then check in on her.
okay. I'll do what I can. Griff.
And you guys are still staying in Shuri's quarters, or are you guys going to disperse
Yeah,
soon?
there-
There's more to talk about.
There's at least one more thing.
Okay.
Go off.
Normally, I'd probably call the meeting there, but he looks to Soren. I believe there's still one more thing we need to talk about. The,
Why are you looking at me?
he kind of gives you an eyebrow look like, you know, the agency offer.
Oh, I thought we talked about that already. Okay.
We
Did we?
not. Not yet.
Oh!
We did not.
Not yet.
Not
Okay,
yet.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we talked. You and I talked about it, but we haven't.
We
brought
talked
it to-
about it, but
Got
not to the group.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's right. That's right.
Got
That's
you.
right.
Got you.
Is something the matter?
Not yet. I don't think so. There may be more eyes on us than previously thought.
What do you mean?
This what was his name?
Chancellor
Palpatine.
Palpatine.
Oh, Palpatine.
Wait, see-
Palpatine. Yes, Palpatine.
See, at that name, Shuri's Leiku are already twitching.
Yes. This extremely powerful person in the government or something
I mean-
like that is
I know.
has taken
I know.
interest in myself and Raz.
For
On this-
what exactly?
See, that's the thing. I don't know, but the express interest of Palpatine and everyone else there was the prerequisite was that they were not part of the Jedi Order, and that, to me, is quite
Interest.
suspicious.
It is quite suspicious, especially with how involved he's become in our matters.
He put out this program called the Star Savior Program. Picked chosen candidates,
Do you have
me, Soren included.
the message or anything that you can send to me? Possibly that I can do some research on it.
It's not really a message or anything. We were summoned.
Summoned? Ah,
We're summoned to the Republic Agency to view Palpatine's, his broadcast on this.
what happened in the broadcast. Just them saying, you were chosen. You and other candidates will go against one another. Blah 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 blah.
No, it's not really some sort of contest or anything. Just an offer out to folks who are not aligned with the Jedi Order, that have proven very well in wartime, that could serve as a personal detail to Palpatine.
Do we know the names of anyone involved?
I do know one person, not the name, but it was some showy gentleman that challenged me to a snipe off.
What did he look like?
I will describe what this person looked like to the group.
Yes, that would be... Private... Yeah, Private Zadel Vacom. He's a Duros male, like, Cad Bane's people with a nice little pencil-thin mustache, very decked out sniper rifle.
Yeah, so Zadel Vomit or whatever.
I'm gonna do a lore check if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. If
21.
21.
21.
Really thin mustache and a fair shot. I will say a fair shot. With a gun, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Thinking about, you haven't dived too heavily into the agency and all of its independent members, but from the little time you've at least passed by there, checking in on, Soren and Raz on occasion, you would have seen him. He is sort of this very cold personality, very just efficient, seeing him. Not really much of a talker of sorts. Lore-wise, if there's anything beyond his military history, I'll say with his 21, he had a slight criminal background of, general thievery and, sometimes light bounty hunter things, but he was more sort of not really killing anyone. He was more just brought in on the thievery charges, and now he's just sort of forced to serve in the agency. He's much less of a volunteer, more of he's sort of just a private contract. Yeah, he's not even getting money or any real.
He's a merc, right?
Pretty much a merc, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. No, If you can, do some more research on who else might have been recruited by him. Something seems off. Extremely off, even just by that name.
I mean, in the best situation, it's just, diversifying your portfolio and looking into other sources of security that, aren't in the Jedi Order. But
no, I understand.
Worst case scenario, your line of thinking, it is very, very sinister. Could be very sinister.
It's quite fishy, especially with how involved he's pushed himself into the Jedi Order and stuff since we've been in this war. It's to hear that he's now looking for people outside of the Order. It's a bit suspicious.
Is
Not even the Jedi Order. He's not looking for clones either.
There has to be some reason behind it. Yes, it could seem from a face value like nothing. But I haven't trusted the idea of the Chancellor since the day I arrived back here. It's never how it's been. Everything is just strategically being placed in some way, shape, or form that I can't describe right now.
Is there any value to tossing this up the chain outside of our little unit here?
Don't toss this up the chain, but what I'm asking you to do, keep an eye on if you can remember faces or anything, or names, just something. give them to me because I need to do research on this.
The other person who was at least a candidate, not sure if they agreed to it,
Mm-hmm.
was a Wookiee named Yumi. We
Lord check.
actually had a
Oh, go ahead.
one-on-one fight not too long after I joined you guys.
Wait a moment. I remember that Wookiee. Yes.
She gave me this necklace, and he shows you the specific necklace he got from Yumi on that fight.
It's sort of a Kashyyyk wooden tree carving of a Wookiee head, it looks like.
No, yes, I remember her. She adored you.
Yeah.
But
Gave me a big ol' hug when I came into the office.
I'm gonna do a lore check to remember if I knew anything about her backstory or anything like that.
Yeah, go ahead and lore check.
Nope.
8, yeah.
Nothing.
You just remember Wookiee, Kashyyyk, and she's just, she's a good hugger.
Yeah.
This is about it.
Haha, Wookiee go.
I'll dive further into it, but if there's any other candidates that you remember or come across or anything like that,
Yeah.
tell me.
So Kappa doesn't remember, but does Soren remember? Who else was in the room?
Raz would remember too.
Yeah, I can give you the names.
I'm having a hard time remembering.
Yeah, I have the
There's
list.
someone
of them.
named like Vasita or something.
Yeah, let me just pull up the names here. Yeah, there was Lieutenant Vasita. She was the female Corellian humanoid woman, sportedly dual pistols, and she was there. Hunbrav was he was a Shistavinan, like, wheelchair, hoverchair bound general of the Republic Agency, and it was Vasita, Fidelcom, Yumi, and you two that were called into the office.
And we were called by someone specific, right?
Sorry?
We were called by someone specific, right?
Yes,
we weren't called. Go ahead.
Yeah,
By Hunbrav, right?
By Hunbrav, yes.
Hunbrav. Okay. Cool.
Can I just do a general lore check on the names then?
Sure. I think
because we would have told you all of the names.
24.
24. We'll say this
Damn.
for Hunbrav. You would know that he, like, thinking about, just looking a little bit in, I'll say a general backstory of his is that he once served, as part of the Republic Planetary Defense Forces. He lost his legs in a bout with the Separatists. Like, half of his body was stuck inside a tank. They had to be amputated to come out, and that's why he's bound in the chair. And you could tell, at least, like, looking over his, military history, like, he's got, like, a lot of medals for service, none by the Chancellor at the time, but he's got, like, the equivalent of, like, Purple Hearts and, like, medals of, like, high achievement and all that. But yeah,
Fun.
he just has, like, some, you could tell, at least, like, looking at it, he's gotten, he's had, like, his win-loss record is a bit split in terms of leadership, but, like, for the most part, he's just sort of been semi-retired into the base, and he has some slight resentment over the clones getting more action than, like, his, non-humanoid allies have been. And that's his whole shtick.
Okay.
And you can roll for Voss. Vass.
Oh, I said like a general lore check. You want me to do separate lore checks for everyone?
Yeah, now we can include for Voss as well. But yeah, she was once, sort of an independent bounty hunter trying to make her name for herself, potentially join the guild, but she was rejected or, like, kicked out, either, like, not following protocols or, just, not following bounty instructions, and as a result of that, she applied underage into the GAR, and since, for, like, the past few years, she was, like, not allowed to the GAR, but then sort of appointed into the Republic Agency, and that's where she's been for the better part of, like, we'll say 5 years or so. She's just been
Okay.
sort of in and out of action, going from planet to planet, sort of, overseeing garrison installations and, yeah, but for the most part, she is usually on Coruscant.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all you know for right now.
So Shuri kind of like, at the mention of boss's name, she then kind of recognizes like bounty hunter. She recognizes like Rav's medals and everything. She just kind of sits there like, interesting. Bounty hunter and a retired Planetary Defense Force member. You guys were more than likely recruited because of backgrounds. Others I might have to dig more into, but to have 2 bounty hunters included, that's suspicious to me.
I agree. Now knowing who these people are, I mean, they're not really exactly, government material.
They're almost...
Or maybe exactly government material. Who knows?
It's almost like an under-the-table sort of team.
Now, I'm all for rehabilitation and of incarcerated people. But this does not seem like that type of program.
It doesn't. But... Look. Do what you can in the meantime. Don't accept the offer yet. See what else is being done. Get more info for now. We have time. Maybe we'll get more information before Viper's team comes to get us.
Out of character, I'm like, because we got the message, like, last night.
Yeah.
How
you do know
much more time do we have left?
You
until
have
the offer expires?
You have, like, it's early-ish in the day still. You have until, like, later this evening to report back to Hunbrav to sort of confirm if you would like to be considered for the position. Like, yeah, this isn't, like, an immediate hire. It's more of just, like, okay, I have my top picks. If you want to be considered, like, it's opt in or out. And then, like, it's not a guarantee you will get the job. It is more, you will be guaranteed to be considered for the job.
Okay. Raz will relay that to Shir'iven.
Take the consideration. Do some more digging. Maybe then you can make up we can make up some excuse like, oh, after realizing, the duty at hand, I want to take a step back and focus on the team, whatever. We just need more information on this. I don't trust it, and I know that we won't be able to dig even further unless one of you, or both of you, deep dive into it.
Right. Finding more information would help us as a start.
Yes.
So it's settled. We'll figure out what's going on with this. I'll do more digging on the names that you've given me. And we wait until we can go to Skako Minor.
Yep. And be careful of who we trust on the council.
Exactly.
And, Viper, in the middle of all this, or like as this is wrapping up, you're getting a call on your communicator.
Fun. All right, let's answer that.
And it is Captain Patch, it looks like.
Hey!
Hey, it's the boy.
Hey, all
Here
right.
comes the boy!
Special. There he is, my favorite white boy.
God, fuck, no. But yeah, he's just coming in on the typical like, blue communique. Goes, Viper, is this a bad time?
And it just sort of like look. And just sort of like looks over at everyone, just back to. No, Captain. Good evening. What's up, sir?
Well, if you have the time, I would like you to report back to the barracks. I have results of, I have some personal, details to discuss with you. If that is alright, if you have the time, preferably by, 1200 hours.
Of course, Captain. I'll be there ASAP.
Alright, see you soon, soldier. And transmission.
Ah, great. The results of my Myers-Briggs test are coming back.
Shut up.
Alright.
After that little scare that happened with the with Shir'iven episode, not Shir'iven, with Raziel episodes back. That's probably it.
The grievous.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
God.
Alright.
Have one mental breakdown.
Fuck, we gotta check on Boba.
Oh yeah.
Completely forgot.
There is also the matter of the True Drig stuff. If you want to just go all there together and follow up on both things.
Yeah, that's
The-
right.
The
The
what
what
thing?
thing?
That's
That's a thing.
yeah. She'll
A thing smiles.
yeah. Up to you if you guys want to, go do that together, or if you guys want to split off and do your own independent things right now.
I think like
Staying together would definitely be the more ideal, idea, but
Mhm.
who knows? With all,
Yeah.
especially with
I
everything
mean,
that-
it's. Is there anything of importance that anyone has to do right now?
aside from going to the barracks, I'm good.
Yeah, aside
They're
from, like, the only
Just
thing
shopping.
same, and that can wait. So
Yeah, and I can wait to do my research, so.
Are we visiting Boba then all together?
Yes!
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you guys get yourself a transport and you make your way over to the Republic, the Intergalactic Penitentiary, and you are seeing like all like these clone guards in Coruscant garb, various red symbols all throughout. You see sort of Commander Fox, sort of posted up in his mostly like. It's a mix of white and reds, like more reds are standing out. He has like the Coruscant symbol on his chest, and he sort of is just standing behind a glass window, just saying, "Halt, you wish to what brings you into the penitentiary?"
we wish to speak to Boba Fett.
Sort of turns to you for a second, goes, "Boba Fett, eh? What did he do this time?"
Nothing. We dropped him off here. We haven't really checked in on him. Especially after the things the kid has seen. I want to make sure that he's fine.
Well, hasn't exactly been the talkative sort since we brought him here. Makes sense given everything in the report, but sure, right this way. And he sort of will, give you two guards to you get on a little hover craft, and he'll sort of fly you over to Boba's cell, where he is sort of has a big buzz cut going on. He has, he's in a stereotypical orange jumpsuit, and he's just sort of faced away from the ray shielded wall as you guys are all looking at him.
Does he acknowledge us? Like,
Does not, he doesn't acknowledge you, and then one of the clones, hits the buzzer, and then he goes like, "Hey, your visitors," and he sort of steps aside for you two to kind of view, and Boba just sort of one like quickly like turns to look at you guys, but then turns fully to engage and goes, Well, for all the faces had come in today, I didn't expect all the lot of you.
We apologize that we didn't check in sooner.
Oh yeah, it's totally fine. We're just in a prison life, alright? Just roughing up any guys who have asking too many questions. Maybe a couple of bounties my dad put away might come across them here, but I'll give him a nice fat welcome. If you catch
Are his
my
hands
meaning.
are his hands bound, or is it like?
Oh no, his hands are very much free. Like he's just still like behind the ray shielded wall. And
Yeah. Is there anything in the cell that would be a concern?
not much in the cell that's a concern, but you do see like his knuckles are a little bit bruised. And like he looks slightly like he's gotten roughed up, but yeah. Like not
Alright,
like
hold
yeah.
on. I'm looking at something. Hold on.
Mhm.
Trying to remember what the fucking move was that I used. That was it. That was it. Yes. Okay. Shiri kind of takes note of this, and she kind of just like looks to him for a moment, and she looks to the guard. Drop the ray shield. I'm going in.
What?
Drop
You
the
heard
ray
her.
shield. I'm going in.
Yes, General.
Whoa.
And Boba sort of like cocks an eyebrow. Just sort of like, what are you planning? Like, at least he's giving that kind of look.
Shuri pulls her lightsaber out, and she gives it to Raz. She steps
He-
in and waits for the ray shield to come back up.
He takes it. Worse.
Clone sort of looks to you and goes, just like unsure, but then puts the ray shield back up.
Planning nothing. No weapons on me. Just know that if you try anything, I do have the Force on my side.
Oh yeah, your old pal Soren made me quite aware of its effects.
Hello.
Just flips you
Just
off.
Just want to talk. I'm not going to be behind the shield. Talking is equals.
What do you want from me? You already saved my life from that metallic freak that killed my dad, and I spared the trouble of not resisting coming into custody.
And we appreciate that. And I apologize. I know that an apology cannot be anything compared to what happened. It's all I can say at the moment, though. What we need to talk about is things concerning both the clones, your father, Camino, anything that you can give us. We might have reason to believe that something is happening.
Look, all my dad did was a job. From years past, he got approached by an independent contractor who, by some individuals, I don't know all the details, he told me a little bit of it, but he's a man of a lot of secrets. And I'm not, even if he's did, a lot of them are in me and I can't really share everything.
Couto won't.
I understand why, if it is a can't, you can't, or you won't tell us. But it's of concern to us, be of concern to you. Something like what happened to your father could happen to you. I'm not going to say anything. My team won't say anything. You have my word on that. We're doing our own digging on this.
Just sort of walk up to you, just sort of like go like within probably 5 feet and go, "Listen, Jedi, my dad's dealt with plenty of your kind before, killed him in droves, and I'm not scared of anything of any other power you might have over me. And as far as that man coming over here is concerned, I'm safely tucked away in this prison, but I want him to come. Hell, better yet if I get to him, and I'm gonna give him the just death he deserves. That's all I want out of this."
Trust me, you and I both want that. While we understand your reasoning, just any information you have, please, we need it.
Make me a straight persuasion check.
12.
12.
Is there a way that I can do... Like, I'm not lying to him.
Right. You're just trying to convince him to give up
Yeah.
a lot of family secrets. And he goes, "I could at least... Zon was back... He met the contact, or at least crossed paths with them back in the Mandalorian Wars, a few years prior. Back on when the Jedi were involved in trying to stop an expansion my father was involved in. One of those Jedi he crossed paths with was a man by the name of Dooku, and another by the name of Sifo-Dyas.
How do you spell that?
Sifo-Dyas. Sifo-Dyas.
Don't need to lore check on Dooku, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
At the mention of his name, though, Shiri's tentacles kind of like, you immediately get that, like, quick snap twitch.
Mm-hmm.
But with Sifo-Dyas, lore check, 23.
Yeah, he's been dead for, the better almost 10 years at this point, and you actually, he's a revered, Jedi Master. He didn't make it onto the council. He was kind of considered a radical among all the Jedi. And with some of his practices, he spouted the visions of, like, the Jedi need an army, like, stuff's, like, coming, and, he had... Yeah, you would have actually met him a few times, but not enough for, like, you were still... You spent most of your time with your master. Like, it's sort of like in passing you would see him and Dooku hang out together. But, yeah. Let me see. Yeah, nothing else outside of that, aside from maybe you would have seen a couple of his programs of, like, his holograms are sort of spread throughout Camino, that they would provide, that he personally, along with Dooku, would provide, trading for potential Force-sensitive clones that would have arisen in the army's creation.
Right.
And my father, after jumping through various hoops, he eventually proved himself, got to talking with at least one of them, and who offered the funds necessary to entice him for such a legacy. And here we are.
I see. Thank you, Bubba, for the information you can give us.
Any chance? Guessing there's no chance you can get me out of here sooner so I can deal with that rust bucket.
I probably won't be able to push the time that it might take to get you out of here, but I can possibly do other things just to ensure your safety and lighten things a bit.
Fine. But I
I'll
want my
try
revenge.
my best. Trust me. With General Grievous, I do as well. And I'm sure that time will come, but for now, we need to take small steps.
Fine. Go what you want now. Scram. Sort of like goes back to the wall.
Shiri kind of gives him this look of concern before she moves back to the wall to be let out.
Oh, and Soren. As Shir'iven is walking out, Boa makes direct eye contact with you and sort of does a little finger gun at you.
Hey.
I will mime getting shot in the heart. I'm dying. I look over the guard. Make sure you put him in solitary. Oh,
He isn't solitary.
oh he is. Oh, worse.
Oh, yeah.
Solitary too.
Oh yeah.
Or whatever's worse than whatever is. And then I'll get up and flip him off and walk away.
All right. And Clone, lets down the ray shield and opens, closes it back up behind you, Shir'iven, and yeah, you guys, Viper, you would know that Commander Kane is also in the penitentiary if you would like to follow up with her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ah. Fine.
Do you want us all to go, Chase?
I.
Or is this more of a solo venture for Viper?
Is that something just we'd pass by? Like, do we see her, or is it just like
She's like in the vicinity, yeah. Like this is like a place for criminals, both like local and warlike criminals, so
Like she would be here.
yeah.
okay? Oh, I wanna. I mean, we're here, so like, hey, might as well.
All right.
Fucking might as well get some eggs with the milk.
And
But is
Yeah.
that did you want us to go with you? That's the question.
Yeah.
I figured, yeah, because I did leave you a bit on the.
Yeah, no worries.
yeah.
I left you a bit on a bit of a cliffhanger with just like that name drop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But all right. So you guys, your transport sort of takes you up a couple levels, and with time you are eventually brought to Commander Kane, or former Commander Kane's little confinement cell. She is, she's not bound, but she is in a similar orange uniform, similar to Boba, and she has this. Unlike him, she actually has a shock collar on, and you sort of seeing her like using like a piece of chalk to sort of like counting the days or like doing various sort of equations on the wall. And she just turns back, seeing your lift arrive, and go, "Oh, surprise, surprise! Such truly a pleasure to see all your Republic traitors' faces again. I take it
Sure.
Coruscant has been kind to you." Oh, you just had something, Shiri?
When Shiri sees the shock collar, she kind of like gives this little smirk. And she kind of like looks to the group like,
Dang, Shiri.
Damn.
You're gonna have him shock her?
if Chase allows it.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
Damn.
I mean, I'm saying if a certain midichlorian induced hand just sort of like turns the other way, Viper would turn away.
Okay.
She is his superior after all. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh my god.
I mean, look, if he tries anything that hurts Viper, Shiri won't hesitate.
Okay.
And I appreciate that. And he won't turn the other way. And he will turn the other way. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
But yeah, she's
Good
just
cop,
sort of
bad cop.
yeah, but yeah, she's just sort of eyeing like all of you through the ratio of the door and goes, "What more could you possibly want from me? I gave you all the information I could. It's honestly a miracle I'm alive in Republic custody at this point. So what more do you want from little old Kane?"
Just me?
Oh, and before we would reach Kane, I'd give Sherry back her saber.
Oh yeah.
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
Obviously.
Yeah. I gotcha. Yeah. So we're just eyeing around everyone and coming to you, Viper, and then going, "You never did got an answer to that. What was that fellow's name? Blanking on it. But you still want to know, don't you?" Jace?
I'm here. No, I'm just like I'm just like, I'm gonna roll insight because I'm assuming she's talking about Nova. Question mark.
No, she's actually about the other person, Trudrig.
Oh, sure, Drake. Oh, right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. It's
Yeah, you're good. It's been a minute.
I was expecting us to get to this plot point, but here we are today.
You're good.
And just sort of like he makes the first step towards the cell, and just sort of like, you mean Drig?
Who else? Quite an interesting character he was. He came to Camino at such an early stage of your little clone's development, offering his services, and at the first sign of, well, let's just say that his greed got the better of him, and with the time he eventually offered his secrets to myself and members of the Techno Union Corporation to learn more about the clone creation process and how perhaps that information can be utilized in either development of a virus, a way to sort of hack, for lack of a better word, the clone programming. But we needed a subject, and he gave you and your little squad up all of those years ago back on Umbara. Unfortunately, we weren't able to nab all of you, so his payment was less than satisfactory for him. As far as where he is these days, we haven't kept touch, so as far as finding him on your own, I'm afraid I am of no use to you.
This is a question for Chase. What does
Yes.
Viper look like right now? Like, I mean, I imagine we're standing behind you or near you, but like,
Does he have his helmet on or does he not?
what's the
Off.
vibe check?
Off. It's off. The vibe. The helmet is off because it's just
Okay.
like this is personal matters, and it's just sort of
Yeah.
like he's not gonna
Mhm.
he's not gonna
hiding
hide
from
behind it.
Yeah.
He's not gonna hide from it anymore. He's grown past that.
Ooh, nice.
Cool.
But now it's just sort of like, obviously he's pissed. That fleeting moment of vengeance to finally get that, and to finally just like take back something that was taken away from him. And he just grits his teeth and just clenches his fist, but he calms down, takes a deep breath, and realizes that he's wasting his breath. he already knows that there's far more bigger things than just petty vengeance at this point. And he looks over at Kane and just takes it a step further.
And at this point, Commander, you're no use to me as well. I already got what I need from you. Skako Minor. I will find her. And when I come back, I'll make sure to pay back his betrayal. In full.
Sort of like gets to the edge of the ray shield and goes, if only you could have seen her transformation. The screams were just delectable. I think you'll quite like her changes. She was, I think, the weaknesses of her, shall we say, donor were quite improved upon, thanks to myself and other Techno-Union contributions. And if she's even alive still on Skako and you see her, I hope you think of me.
Shiri kind of like looks to Viper at that, almost like, you know, does he want her to do the thing?
Wait, sorry, what happened? I cut out for there for a sec.
Shiri kind of like looks at Viper when, you know, she goes into that detail, and she kind of like gives him that look like, do you want me to handle it?
He's just fist still clenched, and just for a moment, she does kind of just like set off Viper as he just sort of like looks over at her and just like bares his teeth just a little bit, but again, it just like composes himself and puts his helmet back on and just looks over at her and just at Commander Kane and just,
I'll deal with you later. We'll deal with you later.
and walks just walks back to the cruiser next to Shir'iven and just sort of like,
just happen once for me.
And use that.
Shiri kind of, yeah, Shiri kind of like immediately locks eyes with Kane. Hand goes up. Fucking shocking her with like the collar. Like she's gonna turn that shit on with the force.
Alright.
The convulsion!
convulsion.
I mean,
That's it.
she is on ground that can be cast. That shit can be cast through.
I don't want to wreck the containment spell.
Yeah.
Okay, but
It's
yeah.
very subtle.
It's very fair.
We're turning on the shock collar.
All right, yeah, the clone sort of like gets your signaling, and there's like Viper's like laughing at Viper's like just turning to walk away. She's just your days are numbered, clone. Like,
Is that as we're walking away?
yeah, like as like the shock, like it's a mix of her like, you know, being shocked and like the pain from that, but also she's sort of maniacally laughing as
Damn,
You guys-
she's nuts.
you guys are
As-
flying off.
And
As
just
we-
and
Sorry,
and
go
just under his breath, he just sort of like sighs and just sort of like looks over. Just who's driving this racing contraption?
One of the security clones.
Just looks over at security and just says,
Get us to Criff out of here.
Of course. And you had something, Soren?
Yeah, I was gonna say as we're leaving to the group, I'm gonna be like, hold on, one sec. Run back over to the cell. Sorry, I saw you're doing math over here, and just that part right there. You want to take the integral, not the derivative. I'm just saying, it's gonna mess up the whole
He's
thing.
doing this while she's fucking getting shocked.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's
You'll
literally
catch it.
the equivalent of fucking that one scene in Fresh Prince. Just like, that's it, Uncle Phil, you're grounded. I'd be happy to describe something for you with that.
Yeah, just pointing it out before you go too far. It seems like really important work. I'll leave you to it.
Just like looking at you with like staring daggers, so many
It
daggers.
just bothered me
in her
so much.
eyes.
I want one. You good? You good? Okay. Goodbye.
You infuriate me.
Can't hear you. Vegas, baby.
Oh my god.
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 Holy shit. But
All right.
now you're splitting off?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Should we roll for who goes?
fuck it, yeah, let's just everyone D20 and we'll settle who goes first from there.
18.
18 for shitty. 2.
I'm last.
Oh,
Two.
Well, I feel like honestly, it kind of works. No, hear me out. Hear me out. It kind of works with the drama of the scene that's gonna happen.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Soren
Yeah.
with the base 20, of course.
All right.
Damn.
I think it's good to flip these two sort of dramatic scenes with something a little bit more lighter hearted.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
I
Oh,
get
yeah.
unless Kev has more plans, but anyway,
Yeah.
Vegas baby, let's go.
All right. Yeah. So you guys part ways for the day. It's like just about afternoonish by this point, or just approaching the afternoon. Soren, what's his on your agenda?
Well, I mean, I don't really have anything else planned for today. Just going to the bazaar, picking up some equipment, perhaps.
Okay.
I did have a shopping list after my coma.
Yeah. You want to go see Jacru Dahl, the salesman back at the agency?
Not necessarily Jakku. I don't know if Jakku is going to have all the things that I need, but sure.
Okay.
That would be my first stop.
Okay. All right. And like you go over there, like you sort of like polishing off like, an old like assassin droid head. It's been like, all right. I have to get this little nook. Hey, Soren!
No.
How's my favorite buyer? How you doing?
Honestly, if I could be real with you, Jakku, I'm having a great time.
Oh.
I almost died.
Wow. I mean, like,
Wow.
I mean, it's not really surprising, friend. Like, you're fighting in a war that tends to happen near-death experiences and the like,
Of course, getting caught in the line of fire and all that stuff, but you're no stranger to this. Anyway.
Yes, so what can I do for you today?
I will have you know that upon my death, you receive all of my possessions.
Really? I mean, if you want to do that...
No, are you kidding me? Do you know how hard it would get for you?
Soren's death is now planned.
I mean, like, if you wanted to pass along your goods, I mean, we can easily work out a contract or a wheel of some sort.
See, here's the thing. I'm dead. That means everything else of mine has been incinerated.
Yes?
Yes, it is known.
So you're going to tell your droid to incinerate everything you own when you pass?
Maybe.
Like recon sort of like comes
Recon,
out of your jacket.
Recon, just play along.
Acknowledgement? Okay, master. He sort of like slightly hovers back into your jacket. I still can't believe you. I hope the droid is getting along well. The snark in his programming is a little annoying at times, but
He's been doing great. He's been doing Recon's been doing an excellent job. It's when there are other droids involved, really, that Recon becomes a little bit more sensitive.
Yeah, this particular model served in the time of the droid revolution, and he was on the side of the of the authorities trying to rein in the droid rebellion, so that would explain why he sort of has a thing against droids.
Interesting.
Yes, his previous owner is just like that, and it might take some time to cozy up to certain droids, but you don't hold your breath.
I see. Well, good to know. Maybe that sort of thing can be smoothed over with more exposure. R7 is quite the challenge.
Oh, it's an astromech.
Yes.
Yeah, those droids
They are quite. You wouldn't expect it, but once you understand binary, they're all kind of snarky and loudmouth.
Yeah, it comes with being, a 3-foot tall piece of metal that just you can't really get upstairs. It's a hard life, to be honest. I'm certainly glad I'm not a droid. No offense to Recon or any other droids you might know personally, but yes. Anyway, back to you were looking for goods and that I may have to sell to you.
Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just restocking on some supplies and maybe some specialty things that I don't know if you have. And also these gravity boots, these mag boots that you've given me.
Yes.
They're fine. They're working perfectly. It's just not as much utility as I would have hoped for in our adventures.
Perhaps is there
So
something
I
else
was-
in particular?
I was
you
thinking if
would
there's
like?
some sort of trade back or buyback program here, at least for me. Your favorite customer.
Well, of course, I'm always willing to make exceptions for my top 3, and he sort of like elbow nudges you.
Top 3.
Well, I mean, naturally, there's also, let me see, Zadel, he buys a lot of similar gears to you. He does not have as much credits to fling around, mind you, but he's up there as well.
He does come more often. I can understand that.
Oh, 100%. He's very much a frequent shopper. He doesn't travel around very much, and I forget the third name. It's not important. But back to you. As far as the boots go, is there something else within this van you would like? Perhaps.
Well, there's nothing really comes to mind. I'd love to take a look around, but I'm here. I will slide over a scribbled list of the things that I'm looking for. So more bullet rounds, temporary tattoo kit, and a laser pointer and a fake gun.
Oh, all right. Fake gun is easy. He sort of like pulls off like this sort of like spray painted. It's like it's one of those guns that like has like the orange sort of like thing at the end, so you can tell it's fake by looking at the barrel. Or it's like it's used for like combat training.
Great, I'll be painting that black.
Oh, yeah, it's free of charge. You can get those a dime, a credit a dozen, honestly, for those. Let me see. Ooh, perhaps. As far as that laser pointer, easy enough. And he sort of like goes to one of these like big 50 cal looking sniper devices, and he like sort of like unscrews this teeny tiny little laser pointer, laser sight off of it.
Yeah. Cool.
And feels like, here you go. Do you want me to fix it to your weapon? Or...
No. This is more of a handheld dealio.
Okay. Let me see. Oh, I do have some old necklaces lying around. You perhaps something like this, and he shows you sort of like the equivalent of like just like a standard like very thin metal sort of chain necklace. Nothing like affixed to it. It goes like, something happened to the ornament or whatever you called it on the middle. It fell off at some point. You can use it if you like.
Yeah, sure, I'll take it.
All right. Let's see. Sort of like goes over to the treats part for Recon and goes, you are aware that droids do not require actual sustenance, right?
No, not sustenance. Just something nice for Recon. Something, maybe some decoration or like a little horn or something, something festive, a sticker perhaps, a racing stripe.
Ooh, perhaps he sort of like goes. He like sort of like goes over to this one drawer, pulls it out, and then flips it over so you can see everything. And it's basically like a huge archive of like decals. So you've got like the stereotypical fire. There's lightning bolts and like numbers in Arabic. You got like little like in Arabic born to die, sort of like very typical soldier phrases. You got like every other name in Arabic alphabetical order.
Is there one that looks like some sort of beastly horns?
Yeah, I'll say there's one for like sort of wampa tusks. You can like sort of like you would affix to both sides of the face.
Great. And are there any smaller letters if I want to like add decals in message format to Recon's backside?
Yeah. Can
Okay,
easily find that.
I'll purchase one set that I'm going to decide on the verbiage later.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I gotcha. Regular bullets. He will.
slug rounds.
Slug rounds. We'll say.
Or at least the supplies to make one.
Yeah. You'll have like a couple other kits left. We'll say he can give you 2 more of those for like 500 credits for both.
Okay, 2 munitions kits. Okay.
Yeah. And we'll say. Yeah. For
And you said so for the pair of them 1,000 credits.
for pair of them, it's 500.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, altogether.
Okay.
All
together.
Temporary tattoo kit. I'm actually gonna have to roll for this one, see if there's like anything fancy. All right. Well, yeah. So he sort of like looks through his old kits and he finds sort of like this sort of weird like hollow case, or it's a case of very like fancy sort of reflective metal. And he pops it open and turns it over to you and goes, "This, my friend, is one of the finest tattoo kits you will in the known rim in the core worlds. Long time ago, you know how those Zebrek have those famous tattoo markings?
Yes.
Well,
Very familiar.
yes, this kit is sort of made to was what the elders of that kind used way back in the day to sort of begin the transition, and it's meant to simulate it, and it would slowly come in over time as you apply to the same place. It is a little painful, and like he sort of like sees, like he points off like everything inside, like there's like a little match or equivalent of that. There's like some a couple different color small jars of ink, and a tiny little needle for like a rock, sort of like to do like if you want to.
Oh, I see. So this is more of a permanent application.
Well, it is painful at first, but it can, it is more of an. It can be temporary if enough force is applied. Yes.
So applying more force makes it more
Permanent.
temporary. Permanent.
The more, yeah, if you do like a light brush, it is more like a wound that will heal with time, and then it will sort of go away. But the more,
Okay.
yes.
I was thinking. See, back home, we used to have these like just sheets of paper with ink on it, and then we would place it on our skin, add a bit of water, and it would peel off.
Oh, you want something of that quality?
Yeah, that just something to not apply any sort of tattoos, just something to very quickly place on and remove very quickly.
All right.
No, nothing along. I understand it's quite obscure.
Yeah, I can give you at least this one place, and it might be a bit odd for you. It's sort of a child's play area. They might have what you're looking for there.
Listen, I am not at all prideful enough to turn my nose up.
All right, I will hold on to this kit, but you can go to this buyer and procure it there for a cheaper price.
Oh, sure.
Yes. But yeah, I believe that is everything you would need.
I am thoroughly impressed. Some of this stuff I did not believe you would be carrying here, at least in the supply, being a supplier of the barracks.
Right, I mean, I also collect junk, and as the saying goes, one man's trash is another's treasure, and in the end it all becomes profit for the first guy. So,
There you go. So about these mag boots. I mean, can I get some sort of store credits, or are you willing to trade? I mean, I'm not. I'm willing to go under from. I'm willing to take a loss. I just want to make sure they're going to be used by someone. More that I want them to go to someone that's going to get them more use from them than myself.
let us see.
And if there's anything that I can benefit from, then all the better. But by all means, not necessary.
I think I have something in mind that could potentially be of use for you. As he sort of like takes the boots away, and he pulls off like this little head comm set thing. It's things like what Anakin wore in the
yes.
yeah, and like attached to that other side, there's also a rangefinder up top.
A rangefinder. Okay.
Yeah, and he's sort of like, see, what you do is you would put this on your head like so. Function as a very the communicator mic quality is a little meh, but here's the kicker. As he sort of like taps it down and the rangefinder goes down, and then you see like other little lenses come in front of it. With this, you can accurately see through walls of certain thickness, so you can bypass. You can get better shot through certain materials. It's a sort of an X-ray vision, for lack of a better word.
So what you're proposing to me is some sort of wall hacking.
Something like that. It can pass through certain layers, and you can, the life on it is finite, but it can get you through certain layers of walls and show you what is beyond. Yes.
That does sound good. I'll if you're willing to part with that, I will take it.
All right. And let me, well, so you just mark off the grav boots, and now you have let me just trying to find a proper name for these.
I just put in my notes wall hacks.
the
God, he's Widowmaker.
yeah.
And does it have like you said limited use? It has a certain lifespan.
Yeah, like
how
with
many uses does this come with?
Yeah, I will say like with
Should I roll like a D4 or
it's
a D6
more.
or
It'll
something?
have like 3 charges. I'm
Got it.
thinking like you can with it down, you can see through at least one wall. The more charges you expend, the more sort of the thicker the walls it can see through, and like you can see like
okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like it's gonna like if I use it 5 times, it's just gonna stop working altogether. It's like one of those per day things.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll say it's the X rangefinder. We'll call it that.
Ooh, that's cool. X rangefinder. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No one can hide from his sights.
All right, and we'll say
One shot, one kill.
46 shots, 1 kill.
Yes. All right, and we'll say he goes.
Let's
However,
call you Bullseye.
and with that exchange, I think it's fair, since this has far more utility for a person of your skill set. Measly little 150 extra credits my way.
Sure. Yes, of course. Always tip
beautiful.
your waitresses.
Yes. Oh, loved it very much. Thank you.
There you go. This is just I love our partnership, Jacques Crew. I will have to get going. I do need to pick up these tattoos quite soon.
Right.
Thank you for all your help, and just I can't wait until I see you again.
Remember, give him what for me, and remember, Zakru's the best place for all the New Republic goods. So,
We're gonna work on a slogan or a jingle.
Yeah,
for
I
this shop.
really need that,
It's kind of wordy,
yeah, a little. It's
Because
just
I know
a
how
little
great
bit.
this place is, but other people, all the great places have jingles, right?
Of course, yes.
Okay, I will see you later.
All right, and yeah, we'll say you go to the place where the temp tattoo is, and you can easily snag that kit.
It's
from,
like a children's party store, right? Like,
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of like Chuck E. Cheese. And
yeah,
you
Chuck
can-
E. Cheese. Hello, I am planning a birthday party for my son. I am going to need all the temporary tattoos you have.
You see this like Ithorian who just like has the most like dead eyes, and like the vocal communicator's like,
So you wanna buy, is this for your kid or something?
I'll throw in an extra 100 credits if you just stop asking questions.
Fair enough, man. Here you go.
and he sort of like just pulls something from the shelf, and it's just this one like it's like a much smaller case, and it just has like various little, means of like, all pre-designed tattoos and some more custom ones you can use, and it'll cost you like 125 if you're actually throwing that in.
Yeah,
All right.
sure.
Okay.
Is
All right.
okay. Are there enough tattoos to cover like a back, a face, an arm? How many are we talking here?
You could find it's like 100 or so small-ish tattoos, so you can probably like get enough on both arms.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
2 sleeves worth. Got it.
Okay. And that is everything for Jew.
That's pretty much all I got in terms of like shopping, and I mean everything else that I'm planning on doing is related to the actual plot. Didn't really have anything that I needed to follow up on.
I got you. All right, so on to Shiri then. So, anything you have on your end?
Jinkles?
Is she...
Sorry, I stepped out for a second to get some water. I'm
Ah.
here.
No, you're good. But yeah, Soren is
Hydration.
done with his stuff, so if there's anything you would like to do in your own personal time, the floor is
Yes.
yours.
We're gonna go get some research done.
Oh,
Right.
snap.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Just let me know what you're looking up.
Alright.
And I'm assuming you're going to the archives for this.
Yes. And am I able to bring my droid with me?
Yeah, R7 can come along.
Yeah, let's bring him just in case I need to, like, if I gotta like throw in some like info for him to like kind of take back, or for him to encrypt or some shit, I got him on deck.
Oh yeah, he'll get you in through some of the other parts of the archives, and like sort of beeps and whistles along, just like excited. He hasn't been in the archives from what you can tell of his the little binary you do know.
Yeah. We're gonna look up Sifo-Dyas first.
All right. Yeah, as far as and I'll say like as you're looking up, Madame Jocasta, the librarian, sort of like goes up to you and goes,
Oh, why, hello, Master Sherry. Is there anything I can assist you with in your search?
If you can pull up some information about perhaps Jedi involvement with the Mandalorian War, that'd be very helpful.
Oh, right, of course. Any reason you're looking into that time?
I need some information for, like, future Jedi Mandalore endeavors, since we've secured the alliance with them, just in case something were to happen.
Oh, right, of course. Forgive me. This war has risen by so fast, and I just forget every other bit of big news that happens,
It's quite alright. Thank you, though.
Yes, right here we go. The Mandalorian Wars, they took place over the course of a few years. There are various factions, and one led by that young, handsome fellow, Jango Fett, actually came to blows with Master Dooku, along with various other Jedi. Fett alone killed about 5 with his bare hands. The body count was quite impressive of those individuals who are not force sensitive, truly a tragedy that lives were lost then, but Dooku was at least able to strike a ceasefire in the war, and for at least a moment there was peace, but that never really lasts. But as time went on, it looks like at least Fett, Django had settled things with the Death Watch, or the Clan Vizsla, as it's also known, and nothing else out of the ordinary that I can see anyway. And you wanted to search Cypher DS as well?
Yes, his name came up in passing, and when mentioning the Mandalorian War, I've only seen him in passing before he left us and became one with the Force.
Yes. Well, we know that his, yes, we did, throughout the temple, we did fear his departure from the land of the living, but as far as his cause of death is concerned, that is still not entirely known. What else there might be? He was more on the lines, if you know Qui-Gon Jinn, the two of them got along quite well with each other in their antics. Ideals sort of came to clash with the Jedi Council from time to time, but they were quite good friends, the two of them. And he just disappeared at one point, at least just before, at least shortly he was gone for at least what felt like a few months, if not a year or so, and then we felt his departure, and then we sent out Jedi to investigate, but we've yet to find a body, so we assume he has passed, by some means.
I see. Do we know what he was doing before we felt that presence leave?
He was going on about these visions of what seems like was this war, and he was going on about an army would be needed, that the planetary forces the Republic has now would be crushed, surely. But the Council, in their wisdom, saw that naturally that his years might have gone to him, or his time in battle might have done damage to his mind, so his comments were mostly ignored by the Council, and he sought to procure his own army, but as far as we know, only Dooku was the one who was successful in bringing it to the Republic in the end.
Nice. I can see that. Interesting. The other people I need to look up reports on, just a list of these people. And I kind of give her name off all the people that Raz and Soren gave me that were recruited.
Okay. Yeah, and she'll sort of be like, oh, yes, these are names of Republic agents. Bit curious to research, but I think I can assist here. And she'll sort of lead you to their sort of criminal records, or Republic, public records of the people. It's some individual stuff from their past, but yeah, just generally public information about them. Or
do they all have a bounty hunter or mercenary sort of background?
Only where is it? Right. Yeah, only Zadel has a bounty hunter background officially.
Vasita was, you just see like there's like, applications to X Bounty Hunter Guild denied, like various of like those types of forms that she submitted, and one that was, to, the Grand Army of the Republic, and then it was, you just sort of see like a sort of denied but transferred to Republic Agency Defense Force, and yeah. But yeah, Zadella's the only one with a clear and cut bounty hunter history and like a criminal record of any kind. Yeah. If you like look up Yumi, there's like, she just seems like a clear cut and dry volunteer. And Honbrav is just, another volunteer as well, just sort of or more.
Is there anything in common with any of them?
No. Aside from that they're all within the agency currently, no similarities that you can discern at this point.
I see. Okay. Alright, well, I have any information saved. I might go and talk to a certain someone about Cypher, but yep. We good.
Alright, that's it for you then?
Do I want to shove this in?
Obi-Wan's face.
I mean, look! You bring up Qui-Gon being a friend. Maybe he has information.
Alright.
Fair.
Yeah.
No. It's literally the only link I can think of.
Oh, yeah.
Because the only other one that I can think of is either Yoda or fucking Dooku, and we're not going to Dooku. Don't know if I want to involve Yoda just yet.
Oh yeah, 100% valid. But yeah, you can find Kenobi.
Very
easy.
sus, this information.
You can find Obi-Wan pretty easy if you wanted to talk with him about it.
Yeah, we'll do that real quick.
All right. So I'm catching him again in his sort of mid-training with Anakin, and he goes, "Very good, Padawan. I'll wait back in the chambers, and I will come to you with more instructions." And he goes, "Of course, Master." And sort of just walks past you, Shir'iven, just looking at you for a second, and then Anakin keeps going about his business.
Shuri offers him just like a little nod as a hello before she lets him go off.
Yeah, he nods back, but keep going on his way.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan, like, still, like, in his, half-fish clone armor, Jedi robe sort of mix going on. He goes, "Oh, yes, Shir'iven, you wanted to see me?"
Yes, doing a little bit of research, and do you think we could step somewhere where we won't be disturbed just for a little bit?
Oh, of course, we could go into my chambers, if you prefer.
It has to do with some stuff that's kept between us. Just kind of like, she kind of gives him that look, like, yeah, this is kind of important.
Yeah, she'll look to you and go, I understand. We'll make haste, and sort of like lead you to like, a more secluded part of the temple, and you sort of remember this back in this is kind of where this is where Yoda would sometimes send Padawans that are a bit troubled or like have certain fits, or like they would just send them here like out in the open overlooking Galactic City, kind of just as a place to sort of be alone and think over things. And yeah, this is like a spot like you were a little bit more not as familiar with, but yeah, you've been at least once or twice, like adjusting, acclimating to temple life.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he goes, "Right, this should do. So what do you have for me?"
I have to ask you about Sifo Diaz. Anything that you might know about him, because there might be a link concerning him, the army, some other involvement, just with those visions coming up, I'm trying to get as much information as I can before the worst could happen.
Well, thinking it over, I only knew him and Qui-Gon for a good while growing up as a Padawan. He's a very kind man. You didn't know him as well or see him around as much, but had you, he was quite a master, shall we say. And as far as anything of note, around the time that when I came back from Naboo and dealing with Maul, he was only around for a little while after. He kept going on about these visions of the war and, or at least like an imminent doom that would come to the Republic if we weren't prepared. And the Council at the time was not only focused on trying to find Maul's master, but they didn't see the need for an army at the time. And at least from what the last bit I've heard of rumor was that Qui-Gon felt Cypher-Dyas might do something rash, or do something against the Jedi Order, or what was requested of him to stay at the temple, and he exiled himself, or I don't know. It's hard to say. The details are still a little fuzzy.
No, I understand. We mentioned the worry about Dooku to him, right?
Yeah, yeah, you did.
Okay.
You did.
What has my concern is his involvement with Dooku as well as the Mandalorian War. My team and I went to check on Boba Fett, and he revealed some information, especially with our concerns of the visions we were having, the clones turning against us. We were thinking like maybe he might have something that he could tell us. He said that his father struck a deal with Dooku and or Cypher, and that's all I know. That's all I could get from him.
This complicates things. Well, perhaps Dooku does know. I didn't see him when I first arrived on Kamino, but or at least when I arrived after you suddenly made your appearance, but oh, no, wait, it was before. I didn't see him there when I first arrived. But this is, I don't know. It feels like I don't see how he could have afforded the creation. He should have sworn off his attachments or his noble life ages ago.
Apparently, there was some compensation involved.
I could press him further on this. He might listen more to my reason, and he seems a bit more on guard than he typically is.
Especially, it's all started once we revealed the visions. I can't trust him. I don't know who else to trust but you, the team, D-Geg. I want to get to the bottom of this before the worst could happen. I don't want to lose anyone to this.
He sort
Just,
of,
if you get
yeah, he'll put like both of his hands on each of your shoulders, just like holding you, and goes like, D-Gang, listen. What happened all those years ago, I won't let it repeat another time. Not if I can do anything about it. If I can assist you and your comrades in any way, I will. I mean, things are still tense right now as more and more Jedi are being dispersed, and I still have Anakin to look after, and my own clones requesting, I be there for leadership, but just we have each other's backs, so
Right. Just be careful if you press him. There's no telling what he could do. I feel as if he might be onto some case already. He already sent D-Gag to check on me after the visions happened. There's no telling what he could do. I can't trust him right now, especially after what he said and what Boba said. There's no telling where this could lead us right now.
sort of like still sliding his hands down your arms into your hands and goes, "Look, I don't want to risk either of us taking him on alone should it arise, but not even teasing the thought of attacking a master of his capabilities, but look, we'll keep our noses to the ground. If we find anything, we'll reconvene, and if we have the evidence, we'll confront him about it. And we'll take him together."
Right. And she kind of gives him like a reassuring, squeeze of his hand.
Yeah. He'll sort of hug and just peck the cheek and goes, "Good. I'm not facing any enemy down alone again. And it's good to know that I can have you to trust.
Good to know that I can trust you too.
Just try to avoid running off again if you can. Another 10 years without you, I think, would be more unbearable for me than anything else."
With what's happening, I wouldn't dare.
Well, it seems like I'm being called back now, but we'll be in touch.
Right. Thank you.
He sort of nods and goes about his business.
Alright, and with that, Shuri has more information to relay to the group later.
Good job.
Yeah.
Yes, success.
Success.
Success!
All of the
Alright.
info points to Dooku being sus. Watch out for him.
Yeah, and if I could just have a quick roll-off between Raz and Viper.
I am still here.
Another D20?
Yeah, just...
Oh, another
since
D20.
you
Oh,
tied.
okay.
Yeah, because we're tight. Alright.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Watch
God,
the
oh my
If I swear, if it's another, what did you get? Wait,
Come
hold
on.
on, it's
God. I
loading.
got a 2 again!
I swear to God, if I get a 2, I'm cursing Gary. Gary Gygax has cursed us. I swear.
Okay.
17. Okay.
Okay, well, they literally said, "Tati, you're fucking giving us drama at the end. Fuck you."
Right.
Wow. Damn.
Okay.
Damn.
Alright, so, on to Viper.
That's me.
Is there anything you would like to do on your own first before we deal with the patch stuff?
What time is it right now?
It's about I'll say you have an hour to kill before
Okay, hour to kill.
before the barrack stuff is needed.
All right, let's go down to the range. I
Okay.
want to test out the light bow some more.
All right. Go back down there, and a couple of the clones are going shooting the shit, literally and figuratively, just messing with their D16, D17s, and 15 carbines, just shooting at various droid targets. They all kind of turn heads, or most of them do. Seeing you sort of seeing you decked out with one crossbow, one bowcaster.
Not one, but
Yeah.
2 special guns.
Yeah, and they're just
G Trooper, G Commando, how come the Republic has 2 special guns?
yeah. It's a lot of chit chatter of are those Republic sanctioned? They're just like making a lot of idle chit chat of like,
God.
yeah, just like what a weird armor set this guy's got.
Who's this guy? Yeah, who's this buffoon? What a weirdo. Anyway, yeah, let's get to shooting, shall we?
All right. Oh, and just before we go, we're good to go past 12 if needed, Jinkles?
Yeah, I haven't gotten a call or anything, so we're
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Cool.
We should be fine then. But yeah.
Okay, cool. I was just wondering what our thing was. I can't go too much longer, but I can stick around a little bit past 9.
Yeah. We'll do like Raz's thing and then we'll end it off there. But
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds fair.
All right. So we go down to the range and we'll say we'll fire off your first light bow shot.
Let's do it.
You're going in range or out of range?
Out of range. That's a 17.
17. Roll again, cause it's Cause hold on, what even?
What is the specification? Like out of range and?
Yeah, like within long range. Like it's just out of.
Oh, gotcha.
Let me check. It should be on the weapon description.
You put it down as ancient light bow, I believe, but I don't know if 5e. I know 5e likes to update.
Yeah, let me.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it's the range isn't showing, but I can just check really. But yeah, we'll say just roll again, and we'll take the lower of the two.
I just want to do a check to see if it's even a thing in there. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a just light bow.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, roll again.
All right,
19.
17. Yeah, that is gonna hit with the disadvantage. Just sort not perfect bullseye, but sort of just like a little bit off, like 3 wings off from center. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's got a nice torque to it, And it takes a bit muscle to handle, but you're easily strong enough to.
Also, I don't think I ever mentioned it, but like, what does the light bow look like? Because it's like, I know when I saw Castulius' art, he had like this whole like, it was described as an ancient light bow, correct?
Yeah, it like has.
So
like,
is it? So is it like that? Is it just like, because from what I saw in Castulius' drawing, it was just like just this very like bow, just like ornate bow with just sort of like these glowing strings, or is it like what was his name? Oh God, the one guy from Rogue, the blind guy from Rogue One.
Donnie Yen,
or is it like Donnie Yen's light bow? Because I know he had a light bow.
Yeah, it's more like Castulius, where like it does just kind of look like a bow with like a plasma string, and it's just has this very ceremonial design. Like, and as like you are pulling on it, you're sort of feeling you're feeling the powers or like the presence of all the previous people who have wielded this bow, and sort of like just speaking to you of like like almost like instinctually, like you're just like tweaking your aim ever so slightly and just lining the shots just right. But yeah.
Got you.
Oh yeah, and fucking I think that might. No, it's just shy of max damage on the first shot.
Shirt was his name.
Yeah.
Donnie Yen's character. Anyway, bleh.
But yeah, and first shot is true, and like a couple of troopers are just like gathering about, just like they're slowly coming, like seeing you like land shots with this thing.
Yeah, I'm trying my best not to draw a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just going at it. Just
another shot.
Just going at. Yeah. Oh yeah, another shot. Yeah.
All right, one more disadvantage for me. Let's see.
Advantage or
disadvantage if
wait,
you're still going long range.
Oh, disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I should have been rolling that then. Oh, that's a 10. That's a nat 1.
You can use your reaction to hit it. It just won't like be like it's just gonna barely hit the bullseye or like barely hit like the actual target if you use your reaction to hit it.
Can I use saving face for this? I'm curious.
Like you can just use your reaction to have it hit if you want, but it's just not gonna be like it'll just gonna be a standard hit. Like it'll just barely hit the edge of the target.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that.
All right. And you just sort of like like you first fumble a little bit, like pulling the bow, and then like you just realize you might have let go a tad too early, and like it first goes wide, but then after like give a little whistle, it's kind of like what Castulius did, just sort of like barely like gets like into like the 10th or so ring outside of center, but just barely hits the target from this range. Clones are just sort of like, you see a couple like give like a little light clapping. And you also see Patch off in the distance, sort of just leaning to a wall, just taking it in.
Viper looks over and just sort of like gives him gives him all a small wave. He didn't realize he was amassing a crowd of sorts.
All right.
And
yeah, with that, Patch will come up to you from his side and go, "See, getting used to the new toy over there?"
Oh, it's definitely not a blaster, that's for sure.
Yeah, but fits your style. It's got a nice aesthetic. If I can have a quick word real fast.
Oh,
of course, Patch. And just sort of like puts it aside. Just sort of, and just like walks alongside Patch, just like, hate to disappoint everyone, but show's over. Back to where you were.
Yeah. A couple clones are just going like, "Oh man, I want to see him shoot a couple more," and then it's like, "Don't keep up, focus on your blaster. Maybe you'll get something like that if you work hard enough." And typical chatter, just like them showing off. But yeah, with that, Patch will bring you into his quarters, and like you'll like sit at the desk in the chair across from him, and across his desk, and he'll go, "Listen, Viper, I took a look over your medical records, along with some questions and answers provided by you, and I gotta say I am a little bit concerned, along with seeing your personal search history. Investigating this clone madness, it looks like."
Concerned? What do you mean, Patch?
He just sort of like, he has his helmet off, obviously. Just like serious matters.
Yeah, Patch will take off his helmet as well, still rocking the normal Django cut, and goes, "Listen, as a chief medical advisor within the 99th, I've been told by the Kaminoans that if there are certain abnormalities within clones, that I should at least report to them of like, hey, this looks a little suspicious, might want to recall this clone for reevaluation or something along those lines. However, I know you're a good soldier and all that, and you pride yourself on looking out for Shiri and the others, and I don't know everything that's going on with you, and with your squad coming back to Coruscant, I can tell things might be a bit nerve-wracking for you." And he sort of like puts an arm over your shoulder and goes, "I know these Kaminoans, the Project Hybrid, it's kind of a mixed bag, according to their profit margins and the way they see, products like them, like us to them, or more like yourself. But I wanted to let you know that I won't be sharing this report with them. Instead, I've taken the liberty to sign you up for a advisory position for an up-and-coming squad. If you would like to meet them, I could show you to them right now, actually."
Advisory position?
Yeah, it's due to, although you are a commando, you still have a relatively low rank among, or at least the equivalent of a private of sorts of just below a sergeant. However, should the need arise, I've gotten requests. Certain squads would need extra guidance, once after being, graduating from Camino. So, and one such commander or captain made a request, and I don't want to see you getting in trouble on Camino, so I figured this might be a nice means of stress relieving for you.
Of course, Patch.
Yes.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate all that you're doing.
Of course. But if you don't wish to be a part of it, that's fine. But
No. For the time being, yes, I do think it would be of the best interest to, for our sake, to not draw any suspicion onto us. The last thing I'd want is to just be a marginal error towards the general.
Right. Would you like to see the squad?
Yes, please.
Be mindful that they are regs, shinies, and some of them, they think they're a little bit harder than they are. But hopefully you can break them in.
We all would. We were all shinies at one point.
Of course. Sort of leads you off into this back part of the barracks. And you see these 5 sort of clones gathered around there. Goes, right, squad, attention! And you see all of them sort of like this sort of mix. It looks like a very motley crew of clones. You've got one guy, or I'll say them as they sort of are lined up at attention to you. At the far left, you see this one clone who identifies himself as Entry. He has sort of various thermal detonators across his chest, and various explosions. He has light scarations across his face from frag explosions. Next to him, you have Tag, who's got sort of this almost crosshair kind of or he's got at least a little tally on the side of his head, with a 5 symbol on there. Sort of in you given the breakdown, Entry is artillery specialist, Tag is a known sniper, Bones is, you sort of see he has more of a bald shaved head, and has, you sort of see a tattooed rough, more of a skull around the back of his head sort of forming, and you see little bits of a spine. Feros, she is just a buffer of the clones. She has a bit more muscle.
Or
Feros. Feras. And
Eras. Okay.
And one more clone on the far side. Jet. She has sort of a low, little bun of hair, and just jetpack, and sort of rocking her helmet. Just off in her hand has those typical full-on macro binoculars. He goes, "This is a crate squad. Jet over here is the
it's a good name. I love it. Crate Squad. Let's go."
Yeah, and yes, this is Crate Squad. We have Entry, Tag, Bones, Feros, and Jet. Lot of you, this is your new advisor, RC0947. You'll know him as Viper. I demand you will expect utmost respect and willingness to follow orders from you. Understood? And they go all various various flavors of excitement. They go, "Sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Sir, yes, sir." Just a bit of a mixed bag of them, but yeah, they seem generally, respectable bunch. And goes, "I'll leave you to it, and just wanted to at least introduce a lot of you, and hopefully you'll get well acquainted over the next few days before your squad comes. So, Have fun, Trooper. He sort of like pats you in the back and leaves you in the room with him.
It just sort of like gives a wave back to Patch, and just sort of like looks back at the new shinies. Just a tinge of just sort of like surprise that this is happening, but also a bit of just sort of like slight worriment that that just sort of like advisor, and then just sort of like thinking about Raziel's vision again as for a moment before just shaking that away. He's got to put on a face.
Eddie squad.
All right. And yeah, they go back at ease and just like keep doing their things, and we'll continue with them once we'll be back tomorrow, next week, or we'll continue with
Like tomorrow. Ooh.
Let out of
Nice
myself.
looking from us, Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, Kev, you
wish.
spoil us.
Oh,
wish.
you sly fucking
Double
dog.
session,
Right.
double session, eh?
All right. Sorry, Christian, you need to go, or?
I'm good.
Okay. All right. We'll just.
All right. Soren time.
All right. On to Raz. So, yeah, we'll start off with like your. I'm assuming your shopping spree, or if there's anything else you want to do first
You know what?
before.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna start with my shopping spree. So no drama yet, guys.
Okay.
You can rest easy.
All right. And
Yeah.
Where
I'll
you
start
off
off
to?
with I'll start off with Jacruel's place.
all
He
right.
probably has more of what I'm looking for. I've got my shopping list here.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So he like sort of sees you arrive and goes, "Oh, Raziel, it is nice to see you again. You know, you just missed Soren, and he just asked for like the weirdest stuff, a sort of a tattoo kit and just a gun that doesn't shoot. Like, seems very out of character for him. You know, is he okay? Is he planning
No,
something
that's-
weird I should know about? Because if it's like a big, joke assassination, I don't want to be tied to that. You know, I have a reputation to uphold. You know."
No, this is typical Soren. It's fine. I wouldn't worry anything about it.
All right, good to know. But
Soren believed there was confidentiality with this man.
oh my god. But yeah, he'll go on. Yes. So, what exactly? What can I do for you?
Well, I'm here to look through your catalog. I want to buy some things while we're on
Ooh.
shore leave.
Of course, yes. Just point me in the right direction of what you're looking for, and I will aim to find whatever will fill your needs. So, yeah, just if you have a list, I am more than willing to point you in the right direction.
Would you happen to have any spray paint kits to start off with?
We might be able to find some here. I have a couple of variously used ones from some pilots. They sort of deposit whatever they think is empty here, but it's very important to recycle. That is, part of my means of a salesman. So I have a couple of kits of various degrees that should, provide enough paint if you're wishing to customize something. It'll run you about 25 credits for that.
That should work. What have you got?
There's a bit of reds, some blacks, lots of whites and blues, maybe some jet yellows. I mean, blue you might be a little bit low on it. Any colors in particular, but it should have most of them if you're looking for something specific.
Red and black is good. So is white. I might dabble in with these streaks of yellow as well. Those should be good.
All right. Yes, and all right. So that is that whole kit for 25. And what else for you?
Okay, knocking off the 25 credits. Next up. Let's see. Next, any What kind of gun holsters do you have, if any,
Ah,
on
yes.
display?
And you'll sort of like pull like a various collection out. Some made of like, fine leather. Others are more sort of like meant to go within armor. Or like others are meant to like sort of like camouflage on to like, like some like will like make the blaster there hidden. Or like you can have like sort of pop out of your arm into your hand. Or you can have one like sort of like shoot up from your back or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Look at the hidden holsters.
Yes, you are a fan of the wrist style. That is very common for, if you want to get in the certain celebrations and sneak in weapons. It is a very handy tool.
Would certainly be useful for any agent objectives.
Yes.
How much for that?
This is a very specialized one, so I am going to we'll run it the usual price. It'll be a little bit more. We'll go with a 150 credits for this.
Let me see. He nods and goes like, yeah, that should suffice.
Right.
I'll jot that down as well.
Yeah, and this, so this holster will give your blaster the hidden property, and yeah, it's sort of just, it'll like goes on either wrist, and like the blaster model will sort of like, as long as it's, a blaster that fits in one hand, it will sort of, collapse inside, and, be hidden inside, or whatever gauntlet you're wearing. Sort of pop out kind of like a little lever-ish kind of mechanic. The spring filled, yeah.
That is dope. Yes, absolutely.
Alright.
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 That's that. Next, he's going to go, Now, do you have any, armor sets? Particularly for, more in line with the, Republic agents.
The thing is, we don't exactly have our own standardized set. As you can tell by the rest of us, it's either bits of clone armor, or whatever I happen to have lying around. If I can... Are you looking for something a bit more fleshy than your current set, or just more of a cosmetic sort of thing?
More, I'd say, if it does have additional features, that's fine, but more for cosmetic purposes. I may be working with the Jedi, but I don't really consider myself one.
I see.
So,
Let me see what would be in here. I have well, the set you have is currently, very new age sort of Jedi armor. I can give you this Republic set. It belonged to some higher ranking Republic agents from Republic soldiers of the time that were sort of in the planetary defense force. It will not make you nearly as hard to detect as your current set, but it will give you at least a little, make you take certain hits better. It has a Beskar weave, shall we say. It's sort of the Republic response to Mandalorian attacks at the time, so if you give me your old set, I'm willing to part with this for 750 credits.
what's 702?
Yeah, this would basically be the set you have right now, but it has like, sort of like, Duty and Beskar weave, and it's is a +1. No disadvantage on stealth.
Oh, okay. What would it affect my AC? Like,
Yeah, it would just
'cause
be
my current AC is still at 17, so...
yeah, it would basically bump it to 18 since it's the same set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and no disadvantage on stealth.
Yeah.
Okay, what does it look like?
Yeah, it's, just very similar to it has like the best car, like it's not like as bulky as like certain. It kind of resembles a little bit of like Mandalorian armor, like in the placement. It's not as sort of like heavier in places that your armor is, or like it's sort of like the happy middle ground between the armor you have now and what you had under Maul, but it sort of compromises the flashiness of it with a little bit more sleekness and its sturdiness.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I don't see a reason to not go with that. That sounds like more pluses for me, so...
But yeah, you're also losing your current set for trading this in.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Raz will go, sure thing. Count that as a deal.
Alright.
He'd find a way to, like, trade off his armor and make the trade.
Alright. Alright, beautiful. Done ain't done. Let me see. Anything else out of the ordinary?
He kind of, like, puts a finger to his chin as he thinks, and then goes, you wouldn't happen to have any old, cloaks on hand, would you?
There are the various states of wear, but I have some. As you'll sort of go into his inventory, you have sort of one is sort of like a desecrated Republic flag that just kind of looks like it was like, survived various fragging or entanglements. There's, a gray sort of cloak, like more like on the lighter side. Let me just see if there is anything special here.
Because if there would be any, like, gray cloaks, he'd, like, look at those.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll say, like, there's, like, some standard gray cloaks there. And he goes, there are a couple of Jedi who we've passed through that brown is sort of the new in fashion of these robes. So naturally all the grays and the whites sort of are departed here. So if you'd like to use this one for yourself, it is by all means you can take it off my hands.
How much?
Let's see. I went departed it for another 50.
I'll take it. And he puts the credits down.
All right.
For the white-gray cloak in particular.
All right. Or like with white on the outside and gray on the inside?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that'll be 50 off for that. And okay. All right. Anything else for you?
Let's see. Got that. Got those. I believe that is going to be all for now.
All right. Good.
Yep, he gives him all the credits for all the stuff.
All right.
I'm guessing he hands them off in like a bag or something for me to grab or whatever.
Yeah, he'll give you when you're off to a place to change and sort of like get adjusted to, the new gear if you want to like try it out and see if it all fits together. And it does.
Oh,
naturally.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I'll put white gray cloak as well.
All right. But yeah, you put that all on. Fits like a glove. Takes a bit like stretching it in to get used to, but it's it's good, and feels like a new you.
Yep, he's like kind of stretches them out, struts his stuff, gets a good feel for it. A good content smile crosses his features, and after that he'll come out with his new stuff, and go to Jakrul. Well, I can safely say your service was excellent. Pleasure doing business with you, Jakrul.
Pleasure as always, as he'll go and just shake your hand a little roughly, but yeah.
Yeah, he eagerly accepts.
Yeah, and you also get a call on your communicator.
Oh? He'll answer. I mean, after, he'll, say, I've got to take this. You,
Yes.
enjoy the rest of your day.
Hey,
Thanks
you.
again.
All right, see you around. And he'll sort of wave you off. And you answer?
See ya. Yep, he waves and he answers.
Right,
Walks
and
a little bit more distance away.
And he goes, it's Lieutenant Brass, and goes, just in his helmet off, just arms crossed, and goes Raz, it's that time of the day again. Need you at the tracks ASAP.
Sir, yes, sir.
Move
he
it,
gives
trooper.
a salute.
All right.
On my way.
All right. And yeah, with time, you get on your speeder and just zoom on over. And as you sort of get there, Brass is still arms crossed and goes, Raz, you checked to see if you were followed, right?
He'll kind of do a back look.
And you see,
Why do you ask?
just points off to an incoming bark speeder, and it looks like Jedi sort of robes, and just this one sort of, it kind of looks like some type of pod racing helmet, as it's bashing on through. That would be why.
Am I able to tell who it is, or can I?
Yeah, it's
Do
Anakin.
I know?
It's Anakin.
Oh, fucking hell.
No, this is pod
piece,
Now
this piece of
is pod
shit.
racing.
This is pod racing.
Oh my god. I just I squint to see who it is, and Raz, he does the kind of annoyed look, oh great.
Should I be... Do you know that guy?
Unfortunately.
It's sort of a speeder just drifts a couple feet away from you guys, and Brass sort of gets his men seeing oh crap, it's Commander Skywalker. Right, men, attention! As he calls over all the clones, and just they line up, and Anakin just sort of looks to everyone and goes, Lieutenant, what's the meaning of all this? And he sort of goes, Commander, we repurposed this abandoned speeding racing facility for training purposes for the Rough Riders, sir. And he goes, really? You do realize without proper authorization, I can have you all court-martialed for this, including you? As he looks to you, Raz.
He just glares up at him, arms crossed. He does not flinch.
And, shit.
Brass?
Fucking Brass. You'll go, apologies, so we can go out for approval right now. And he goes, that won't be necessary. I can actually go, I could report this to the council or the chancellor and have you all court-martialed, or you can give me a good time. At least we'll put it to a wager. Sir? Goes, and he sort of puts, pokes at you, Raz, and goes, You think you're still hot little bantha fodder, aren't you?
I don't think I'm hot bantha anything. What is your deal?
I don't like your attitude, getting all cozy with Padme and thinking just because you're friends with a Jedi Master that you can and that you've bested me in one little bout, thinks that you own any more recognition or respect than myself amongst all these clones.
I believe I've proved myself in helping you in this war.
Then we'll put it to the test then. Race around around Galactic City on my terms. We'll see how good you are, and if you win, I'll let your little racetrack stand as it is, and I won't report it. But lose, and I'll make sure you never touch a speeder again.
We'll see about that.
And Brass sort of goes in between, like, Commander, if I may have a word with him. He sort of like just nods, and Brass pulls his hand and goes, "What are you doing? This guy's... I don't even know that much about Skywalker, but what I do know is that he has a proven track record of being a champion pod racer. And that shit takes wicked reaction time. You haven't had nearly enough training to tackle the likes of him on a race."
I went against Drift, didn't I? Besides, I'm a fast learner.
But she's
He's gonna
not...
shut this place down anyways. The least I can do is help you out here.
Drift might be good, but she's not a Jedi good. Certainly not a Skywalker. You really think you could take him?
I know I can take him. Besides, he's been looking for any excuse to trounce me. I'm not gonna give him that opening.
Carabast. If you're so sure of yourself, I won't stop you if you want to take him on. And Anakin will sort of be like, "I'll be waiting at the starting line, unless you're chicken enough to and decide to back out."
No. Not chicken at all. I'll meet you there.
Oh. And Brass just like puts his head in his hands and goes, "Oh, great." And yeah, as you both mount on your speeders, and Brass sort of gets in between you with the starting gun, he goes, "On your marks!" And just sort of revving up the engines.
Oh, and I would have like the speeder goggles on, by the way.
Oh yeah. Get set! And we'll take a break. We'll end it right there. That'll be the end of the night session.
Bitch face Anakin.
And I'm so aggravated by Anakin right now.
Dude, he's still...
I understand. It's
Dude,
good.
when you don't lose a hand, you kind of think you're hot shit, you know?
God,
He
just
still very much is.
I'm gonna take his hands.
Just literally him just like getting cozy with Padme, just Raziel, just like he's literally talked to her twice.
Like, seriously?
I mean,
God.
He knows you spend time with her, like, while she was in prison, and he wasn't there in all those, few hours, so...
God forbid.
God forbid.
Oh, jeez. I spend one time with your lover, and all of a sudden I'm getting cozy with her.
Oh, I'm
Ooh.
sorry. Was frolicking in the fields not enough time with you in episode 2, sir?
But yeah, that is gonna be it for this session, and we'll be back.
God, I just hope I get good rolls next time.
Oh yeah, this is definitely gonna be a different race from before. We'll have some surprises this time, but yeah, thanks again everybody for coming by. We'll be back next.
I have the perfect I'm sorry, just like I have the perfect just juxtaposition for just like if Anakin does win of just sort of like. Just sort of like, all right, well, I lost my bikes. Time to get a land speeder.
Well, I lost my vibe.
Oh my God.
Might as well get a car now.
Oh boy, fucking Raz, like he upgrades from a shitty little bark to a full-on car.
Space Corvette.
Space buggy. But yeah, that will be it. And you catch us same time next week. Yeah, hopefully we should still be good to continue on, and yeah, it's got some fun time. But yeah, you can find me over on all social media at KCoutoVA, and you can keep in touch with my voice acting work. If I, decide to stream more stuff on my own again, we shall see what happens. But yeah, that is going to be it from me. Next up, we have Christian.
Hello, hi, I'm Christian. I played Soren, the one with the math and the tattoos and all that
The
stuff.
math.
The math.
Yeah. If you like what you heard here today from me, you can follow me on Twitter at @TheKappaChris. In terms of other projects that I'm up to, you can catch me on Roads Uncharted, the first actual play podcast set in the Genesis system. We are currently about to start recording for season 3. I think we still have a few mid-season between season content coming out. This Friday and Saturday, November 5th and November 6th, I'm going to be on Lady Dame's channel reading My Immortal. So if you're familiar with that, it's the worst ever fan fiction. I'm going to be playing Voldemort. So that's going to be really exciting.
Nice.
Forgot about
Exciting.
that.
Exciting.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this. It's a huge stellar cast and great program. Lots of talent going in for what's essentially a joke of the internet.
But it's a joke
keep up
that's
to date with
spawned
everything
a
else.
legacy.
Keep up to date with everything else on Twitter at @TheKappaChris.
All right, and after that, we have our good friend Tati.
Yo, Tati here. I played Raziel. Fuck Anakin. You can find me on Twitter.
Fuck Anakin.
Wow.
Wow.
Great violence.
Jesus.
Great violence. I love it. I love it.
This guy's been a bitchhole to me from the start. Anyways,
Yeah.
you can follow me on Twitter at Tati the VA for voice acting, audio engineering updates, as well project sharing stuff, D&D related sharing stuff, aside from Revenge of the Crit, which I'm going to try to trounce Anakin next week. Same time, same night. You can also check me out on a couple of other campaigns I'm in. Every Tuesdays, at least for now, temporary, I'm in the World of Eris. It's a homebrew campaign. We're fighting Mind Flayers and Warforged units in a corrupt city. So that's been fun. And my lizard folk is at 3 levels of exhaustion. Fun times. You can catch us on Tuesdays every at 5:30, 6 p.m. PST over at Orion the VA via Twitch. You can also check me out on the Curse of Strahd campaign over at Dungeons May Cry via Twitch every Thursdays at 7 p.m. PST. Good stuff is coming. Yeah, that's me.
All right. After Tati, we have Jinkles.
Hi, I'm Jinkles. You can find me at lovejinkles on twitter.com, where I am currently being voiced by Chris I'm kidding. Please don't do no.
Oh God, no, please.
No, but yes, you can find me at lovejinkles on twitter.com. Do I have any announcements to make? Give me a second. Give me just 1 second.
Go through the docket.
Oh yeah. We are going over some of the responses to the body count camp stuff.
Oh,
so our podcast is
shoot.
going to be going soon. So for those of you who have submitted, thank you so much. Be on the lookout because Chase, Ray, and I are going to be looking at the applications already submitted, and maybe you can be chosen to be could be chosen to be the 4th counselor on our podcast. And hey, I might even put a poll up deciding what fucking movie we review first. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Thank you so much. It's great to be back.
We have reviewed your application, but we did not grant you the rank of counselor.
God damn it.
What?
All right.
What?
This is absurd. How can you be a horror buff reviewer and not be on the council?
Take a seat.
All right.
Have a seat, James A. Janice.
It's not fair.
This is outrageous. And last but certainly not least, we have our good boy Chase.
That's me. Hello, everybody. Chase here. Chase Beck. I'm actually proud to announce that I will be played by Chris Pratt. I'm kidding. I kid on that one too. It's so easy. It's an easy target. I'm sorry. First Mario, then Garfield. What's next? God, he's invading our
God,
lives.
literally.
Literally God.
Literally God. Anyway,
You got it.
You can find me over. You can find me over on YouTube.com, Chase Beck, and you can find me over at Twitter on the Chase Beck, where I rant about Godzilla and do a bunch of silly things. And I actually have a few things to announce. Actually,
Yeah.
things that are some projects that are currently going on, as I mentioned earlier. First off, I was very much fortunate enough to be a part of Freshly Canal's animated rap battle. You can hear me as the big bad bug man, Oogie Boogie himself, as he goes up against King Dice in this really well put together rap battle that is just absolutely fire. So that's already out. It's already near. It's almost 30K away from 100K views, and it's been only been out for 4 days.
Nice.
4 fucking days. It came out on Halloween, and it's obviously it's one of my favorite song projects I've been on so far. And secondly, on the more dramatic side, you can hear me currently as a woodman in Siva Gunner's ongoing Halloween special, Curse of the Fallen Angel. This is the 5th Halloween special they've done, and we've got a really great voice cast. A lot of new up and comers and a lot of familiar ones, such as I don't know, Chris Voiceman, the Nintendo Hire This Man guy. He's on there, and he does a great Mark Hamill Joker. So if you want funny stuff that is filled to the brim with memes and lore you don't understand about a high quality video game channel, check out Curse of the Fallen Angel. And that's it for me.
All right. Yeah. Thanks.
Take it away, Kev.
Yeah. You can follow all of their social medias in the description if you're watching the VOD or if you're watching live in the chat below. All their info will be there. But yeah, thanks again, everybody, for coming by. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Remember, stay safe, wash your hands, wear your mask. We love you all very much. Get vaxxed if you can. And remember, as always, may the rolls be with you. Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Happy birthday, Godzilla.
Bye.
Don't